Welcome to the 2021 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence. The annual awards recognize the best in mystery, crime and suspense fiction, and crime nonfiction by Canadian authors. First presented in 1983, the CWC Awards of Excellence has grown from Best Crime Novel to a total of 9 categories, including the introduction of the new Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Novel set in Canada, honoring the late Canadian mystery author, CWC founder, and CWC Award of Excellence winner, Howard Engel. Before we begin our presentation, Crime Writers of Canada would like to take a moment to thank the 27 volunteer judges who are from a variety of backgrounds across Canada for their time and commitment to making the awards a success. To start our presentation, here is a message from the Crime Writers of Canada Chair, Judy Penz Sheluk, who will present the Derek Murdoch Award.
Thank you. I've had the honor and privilege to serve as Chair of Crime Writers of Canada this past year. As such, I serve as the Chair of the Awards Committee. It is through the work of the current and past committees that the awards have grown. I would like to start by thanking my fellow committee members for their hard work. Jane Burfield, Melody Campbell, Peter Kingsmill, Mike Martin, Marion Misters, and Kevin Thornton. This year, one of the innovations to the award process was the formation of the Jury Selection Committee. Instead of one jury chair finding all the judges, we had a team of 6 authors representing different regions, genders, and ethnicity to find qualified volunteers that reflect this diversity. On behalf of CWC, I'd like to thank Hyacinth Miller, David Albertine, Jane Burfield, Yutaka Dirks, Deborah Purdy-Kong, and Gary Ryan. At the heart of the awards brings plans to fruition and keeping everything on track is our awards manager, Libika Buddha. It is largely due to her efforts that we have this awards video to present. Supporting Libika's efforts, as well as coordinating CWC's other programs, is Executive Director Allison Bruce. Together, they keep the wheels of CWC turning. Thank you, Allison and Libika. As chair, I've had the pleasure of selecting this year's Derek Murdoch Award recipient from the candidates proposed by the board. The Derek Murdoch Award is a special achievement award for contributions to the crime genre. It is awarded at the discretion of the board chair of Crime Writers of Canada. Known as the President's Award when first presented in 1984, it was later renamed in honor of its first recipient, literary reviewer Derek Murdoch. The Crime Writers of Canada is pleased to announce its 2021 Derek Murdoch Award recipient, Marion Misters. As co-owner of Toronto's Sleuth of Baker Street, Marion Misters has been promoting Canadian mystery authors since the bookstore opened and supporting Crime Writers of Canada from its inception. Through hosting book events, always with grace and enthusiasm, she has helped launch and boost the career of many CWC authors. In addition, Marion served as jury chair for the awards for 4 years, during which time she streamlined and updated the written procedures for the judges. She was also instrumental in guiding CWC to a new, more diverse jury selection committee format and has been active on the awards committee for 6 years. Her insights as an independent bookstore owner have been invaluable. For these reasons and many more, Marion Misters has lived up to the ideals that inspired this award and continues to contribute greatly to the development and success of crime writing in Canada. I am pleased and honored to offer Marion the 2021 Derek Murdoch Award.
Congratulations, Marion Misters. And now, Crime Writers of Canada are pleased to announce the winners for the 2021 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence in Canadian Crime Writing. The finalists for the award for Best Unpublished Manuscript with a $500 prize sponsored by ECW Press are Predator and Prey by Diane Scott, A Nice Place to Die by Joyce Wolcott, The Future by Raymond Bazowski, Cat with a Bone by Susan Jane Wright, Notes on Killing Your Wife by Mark Thomas. And the 2021 award for Best Unpublished Manuscript goes to The Future by Raymond Bazowski. The judges enjoyed the engaging protagonist and punchy dialogue of this manuscript. One judge stated, "This entry had a terrific combination of writing quality and a unique story, delving into the Cuban expat community and its second-generation children with great style. Congratulations, Raymond Bazowski." And now, Crime Writers of Canada are pleased to announce the winners for published categories. For Best Crime Short Story, sponsored by Mystery Weekly, with a $300 prize, the finalists are Marcel Dubé, Cold Wave, Sisters in Crime, Canada West; Sylvia Maltash-Warsh, Days Without Name, Carrick Publishing; Twist Phelan, Used to Be, Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine; Zandra Renwick, Killer Business, Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine; Sarah Weinman, Limited Liability, Alfred Hitchcock's Mystery Magazine. And the winner for Best Crime Short Story is Marcel Dubé, Cold Wave, Sisters in Crime, Canada West. Here is what the judges had to say about Marcel Dubé's Cold Wave. Marcel Dubé's Cold Wave is a mini masterpiece. Dubé is adept at unfolding a story that keeps the reader at the center of the action and on the edge of their seat. All the senses are commanded in its seamless and pitch-perfect pacing. The freezing cold and majestic beauty of Canada's Yukon, the physical and psychological challenges of cross-country skiing in subarctic conditions, a dangerous encounter with drug runners, and ultimately, the protagonist's victory against all odds. The clever use of mounting tension keeps the reader captivated for the duration. Character development of a small, tight cast is subtle but profound, allowing the reader to slip easily inside the protagonist's thorny situation despite scant dialogue. The writing is clear and precise, the vocabulary accessible, the prose fluent. The humor is delightful, especially the delivery of the final sentence, sealing Cold Wave's fate as the unanimous first choice of all three judges. Congratulations, Marcel Dubé. For Best Crime Novella, sponsored by Mystery Weekly with a $200 prize, the finalists are C.C. Benison, The Unpleasantness at the Battle of Thornford, at Bay Press; Vicki Delaney, Coral Reef Views, Orca Book Publishers; Winona Kent, Salty Dog Blues, Sisters in Crime, Canada West; Sam Weeb, Never Going Back, Orca Book Publishers. And the winner for Best Crime Novella is Sam Weeb, Never Going Back, Orca Book Publishers. The judges had this to say about Sam Weeb's Never Going Back. A gritty little thriller that packs a satisfying punch, Never Going Back opens with the intensity of a rifle blast and never lets up. Just out of prison, Allison Kidd is a terrific, gutsy character you can't help but root for, a kick-ass heroine with serious skills. The heist plot is engaging and well thought out and takes the reader on an entertaining trip into scenes of low life, high life, and just trying to get by life in Vancouver, peopled with a diverse supporting cast. The ending is satisfying, and the last line is a killer that had us smiling from ear to ear. Give us more of this character. Congratulations, Sam Weeb. For Best Juvenile or YA Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction, sponsored by Shaftesbury with a $500 prize, the finalists are Francis Greenslade, Red Fox Road, Puffin, Canada; Janet Hill, Lucy Crisp and the Vanishing House, Tundra Books; Sheena Kamal, Fight Like a Girl, Penguin Teen; Kelly Powell, Magic, Dark and Strange, Margaret K. McElderry Books; Tom Ryan, I Hope You're Listening, Albert Whitman and Company. And the winner for Best Juvenile or YA Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction is Francis Greenslade, Red Fox Road, Puffin, Canada. The judges had this to say about Francis Greenslade's Red Fox Road. This beautifully crafted novel engaged our judges from the start. The story involves a young girl who becomes stranded alone in the wilderness thanks to her well-meaning but misguided parents. Francie is a strong, intelligent protagonist with a convincing narrative voice and impressive bushcraft skills. But as days pass without rescue, she feels conflicted anger at her parents, mingled with fear and hopelessness. YA readers will relate to her fluctuating emotions and take the journey with her. The judges appreciated how the author's choice of antagonist, the natural world, allows Francie to pit herself against challenging weather and terrain and to use her bushcraft knowledge. The teen emerges from the forest, weakened in body but strengthened in spirit. The experience has transformed how she views her sister's death and her mother's ambiguous affection. In this poignant, YA relatable book, both Francie and the reader come to learn the paradoxical nature of love. Congratulations, Francis Greenslade. For Best French Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction, the finalists are Roxane Bouchard, La Mariée de Corée, Libre Expression; Stéphanie Gauthier, Unacceptable, Édition Québec-Amérique; Christian Guiguerre, Le Printemps des Traîtres, Héliotrope Noir; Guy Lalancette, Les Cachettes, VLB Éditeur; Jean Lemieux, Les Demoiselles du Havre-Aubert, Édition Québec-Amérique. And the winner for Best French Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction is Roxane Bouchard, La Mariée de Corée, Libre Expression. The judges had this to say about Roxane Bouchard, La Mariée de Corée. Roxane Bouchard's creative opening plunges us irretrievably into the story. Through the victim's eyes, legs bound and chained to an anchor, we are dragged overboard into the cold night water of the St. Lawrence River. La Mariée de Corée is written in flawless French, local Gaspé patois, and judicious use of nautical and fishing terms. Crisp writing makes us feel the ocean's spray, the rolling deck, and opens our heart to the hardships of lobster fishing in an era of government quotas and paperwork. What stood out amongst other well-written competitors was how the author skillfully placed our eyes and mind into the scene, surrounding us with believable characters. We lived the problems and the history of the fishing village. Her prose flirted with poetry. In many paragraphs, the thoughts and observations of the protagonist are little gems of stories within the story. This novel was a pure pleasure to read. The judge's choice was unanimous. Congratulations, Roxane Bouchard. For the Brass Knuckles Award for Best Nonfiction Crime Book, sponsored by Simpson and Wellenreiter, LLP, Hamilton, with a $300 prize, the finalists are Jeff Blackstock, Murder in the Family, How the Search for My Mother's Killer Led to My Father, Viking Press. Norm Boucher, Horseplay, My Time Undercover on the Granville Strip, Noest Press. Silver Donald Cameron, Blood in the Water, A True Story of Revenge in the Maritimes, Viking Press. Justin Ling, Missing from the Village, The Story of Serial Killer Bruce MacArthur, The Search for Justice, and the System That Failed Toronto's Queer Community, McClelland and Stewart. Michael Nest with Deanna Reeder and Eric Bell, Cold Case North, The Search for James Brady and Absalom Halkett, University of Regina Press. And the Brass Knuckles Award for Best Nonfiction Crime Book is Justin Ling, Missing from the Village, The Story of Serial Killer Bruce MacArthur, The Search for Justice, and the System That Failed Toronto's Queer Community, McClelland and Stewart. The judges had this to say about Justin Ling's Missing from the Village, The Story of Serial Killer Bruce MacArthur, The Search for Justice, and the System That Failed Toronto's Queer Community. Justin Ling's Missing from the Village, The Story of Serial Killer Bruce MacArthur, The Search for Justice, and the System That Failed Toronto's Queer Community brings forth humanity from horror. With compassion and respect for the communities he writes about, Ling gives a focus and voice to the victims, while even-handedly chronicling the police investigation and the details of the trial. Ling also highlights the historic and systemic inequities of policing LGBTQ+ communities, especially for those who are also Black, Indigenous people of color. Written with fury and precision, Missing from the Village is a feat of urgency and empathy. Congratulations, Justin Ling. For Best Crime First Novel, sponsored by Writers First, with a $500 prize, the finalists are Ray Anderson, And We Shall Have Snow, Signature Editions. Guglielmo Di Izza, The Transaction, Guernica Editions. Russell Freilich, True Patriots, Dundurn Press. Emily Heptich, The Woman in the Attic, Flanker Press. Chris Patrick Carolan, The Nightshade Cabal, Parliament House Press. And the winner for Best Crime First Novel is Guglielmo Di Izza, The Transaction, Guernica Editions. The judges had this to say about Guglielmo Di Izza's The Transaction. The Transaction was the committee's unanimous choice as the winner of the category. It is a well-paced story about a real estate transaction gone wrong in a Sicilian town. With its curious, intriguing characters and secrets, it has a Twin Peaks Twilight Zone feel to it that will keep you turning the pages. Guglielmo Di Izza does a masterful job bringing people and places alive in what, at first, seems to be a parallel universe, but it's not. The writing is smooth and draws you into the story without noticeable diversion or unnecessary distraction. The tension hides in the shrubs, testing your urge to flip forward, emerging in intervals that keep you consuming each morsel. The Italian cultural references and the characterizations are spot on, which one would expect considering the author's background. Settings are well illustrated and so compelling, you can feel and smell the sweat and hear the grittiness of the streets. Congratulations, Guglielmo Di Izza. For the Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Novel Set in Canada, sponsored by the Engel family with a $500 prize. The finalists are Randall Denley, Payback, Ottawa Press and Publishing; Helen Humphreys, Rabbit Foot Bill, HarperCollins Publishers Limited; Anne Lambert, The Dogs of Winter, Second Story Press; Kevin Major, Two for the Tablelands, Breakwater Books; Katrina Onstad, Stay Where I Can See You, HarperCollins Publishers Limited. And the first winner of the Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Novel Set in Canada is Katrina Onstad, Stay Where I Can See You, HarperCollins Publishers Limited. The judges had this to say about Katrina Onstad's Stay Where I Can See You. With superb writing and psychological insight, Katrina Onstad crafts this novel about a family threatened by a secret. The story begins with a happy event. They win the lottery, which prompts the parents and their 2 children to move from the suburbs to downtown Toronto. They enter the upper reaches of society and brush against immigrants struggling to survive. Onstad skillfully shows how each character responds to this new environment, while hinting at cracks in the safe life the mother has created to hide her shady past. Suspense builds as the mother's secrets creep into the cracks. A menacing figure from her past reappears. Her teenage daughter challenges her need for obsessive protection. Tensions between them erupt in ways that are surprising and achingly real. Onstad controls the story's pace to a startling climax and a conclusion that leaves readers satisfied and thinking about relationships in our modern world. A compelling read from a talented wordsmith. Congratulations, Katrina Onstad. That brings us to our final category for the 2021 CWC Awards of Excellence. The finalists for Best Crime Novel, sponsored by Rakuten Kobo, with a $1,000 prize are Marjorie Salona, How a Woman Becomes a Lake, Hamish Hamilton, Canada, Penguin, Canada; Cecilia Ekbach, The Historians, HarperCollins Publishers Limited; Will Ferguson, The Finder, Simon & Schuster, Canada; Thomas King, Obsidian, HarperCollins Publishers Limited; Roz Ney, Hurry Home, Simon & Schuster, Canada. The 2021 winner for Best Crime Novel is Will Ferguson, The Finder, Simon & Schuster, Canada. The judges had this to say about Will Ferguson's The Finder. Will Ferguson's The Finder is a thriller, an adventure, a romance, and a travelogue. We follow Thomas Rafferty, a has-been travel writer, and a cast of oddball characters on a quest for a shadowy figure who is collecting priceless treasures and leaving corpses in his wake. Ferguson, a former travel writer himself, takes readers from the southernmost tip of Japan to post-earthquake Christchurch to the Australian outback, with stops in Belfast, Edinburgh, and Rwanda. The Finder is a wildly original tale about the people, places, and things that are lost, and the calculating individuals who will hunt for the unattainable and take it for themselves, no matter the cost. Vivid descriptions and multi-dimensional characters populate a snaky plot with rewarding tangents and sly Hitchcock references. An unusual, entertaining, and absolutely addictive crime novel, The Finder is well worthy of Best Crime Novel of the Year. Congratulations, Will Ferguson. And congratulations to all the finalists and winners of the 2021 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence. Crime Writers of Canada offers sincere thanks to our award sponsors: Rakuten Kobo, ECW Press, Shaftesbury, Writers First, Simpson and Wellenreiter, LLP, Hamilton, Mystery Weekly, and the Engel family. Crime Writers of Canada would also like to thank Frank Carney for lending his voice to the presentation, and everyone in the Canadian publishing community for making the Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence a success through the years. For more information about the Crime Writers of Canada and the annual awards, please go to crimewriterscanada.com.